Oh, we're starting off with a crazy signal, but that's okay. Welcome to the House of Sewing. I hope everyone's doing well and having a good day. Let's get the show started.
It's Russell Rush on Friday, kicking the ballistics on WIMS. Yo, I got a phone call from my dog. He wants to hold Jake. I said, hold up. Yo, Jake Dixon trying to get money in. WIMS, Dallas Soul, Saturday, y'all.
Girl meets boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy rolls blunt rats to his boys. Erection brings bad boy joys. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black fat, love big black fat. Girl calls boy to stand him up on Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday, Saturday is the Saturday.
Back once more with the wallop in the score. Smash about a riff should make you rock your hip. Revival of the roller boogie in a ricochet to make you think about the time we spoke fun instead of fight. But diving from a piece of metal shoulda yo, slip your butt to the fix of this mix. Toss that briefcase, it's time to let loose. Cause you work like heck to get the weekend check. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on everybody, get the funky output.
5 days you work, one whole day to play. Come on everybody, wear your roller skates today. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, yeah.
Now as you pump your fists, I reminisce to a bounce rock skate low fest to impress. Hey pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Cool, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is feet. But promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, Luke just walked in.
Is there a threat on stage?
Yes, man.
So kick the wham on this jam.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. Wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating high five and a day's no split. With the yawn, I trip to the dawn. Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear. Rattle to the roll. Hold back up the track, grab your roller skates, y'all. And let's zip on by. Zippity doo, now let's zip on by. Feed on the weed and we're feeling high. Sun is on thick and the cheese is rolling thick. Come on, it's no time to hide. Season is twist, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the bottom away, but it's okay. It's a Saturday. Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Lawn, don't look at the Peter.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time to act the fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday.
Oh, I know it's not Saturday.
Saturday, it's Saturday, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
How's it going? My name is William. Welcome to my so-called life. To anyone watching this in the future, I absolutely thank you. Oh, hold on. Let me try that again. How's it going? My name is William. Welcome to my so-called life. I hope everyone's having a decent day. It is hot here in Southern California, but the show must go on. Hello. I hope everyone's doing well. This is the House of Sewing. My name is William, and let's get to the important stuff. Before we get to the show, before we get to anything, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the views of every single human being on planet Earth. I hope everybody has a great evening flying my so-called life airlines. if you need a hug, if you're having a bad day, regardless, here in the House of Sewing, we have exits on both sides. That's a izquierda and derecha. I hope everybody has a great evening. Let's make something. As you can see, I finally finished my picnic table hoodie. I have no idea what took me so long. I have no idea at all. There's a couple fires going on by my house. I have to close the door because I'm starting to be able to smell the smoke. Okay, that's better. I have fans going, and there's a couple fires by my house, so the smoke is it's unbearable after a while, and it gives you a headache. It makes you lethargic. Smoke is a crazy, crazy entity. But I'm gonna grab my table and let's start sewing. Let's make something. I have plans this evening on making tweed pants. And I always say, oh, let's see where it goes. I cut my shapes. I have everything ready to go. I am organized this evening. And I just wanted to say to anyone who watches this in the future, I absolutely thank you because quite a few people watch this in the future and you are amazing. So don't ever forget that. Oh, and that's the bad phone. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Yeah, how's it going? How's it going? Give me a quick second. I have to run off at this thing. Man, there's too much going on. There is too much going on at my house. There's fires going on. People are freaking out at my job. And I don't blame them because they're in the middle of a tinderbox. My job is 65 luscious acres that sits in the middle of a mountainous canyon. So it's just waiting for a fire. I'm making tweed pants this evening. Why'd you cry like you're old? I earned it. I earned that grunt. It's my smoker's cough. The air is so filled with smoke, it's unavoidable. It's every time you breathe in, you're breathing out smoke. LA is an unreal place. So it's definitely kicked me. It's definitely got me this time. Awesome. Awesome. I didn't think so. All right. So, how's everyone doing this evening? I was just listening to Belle Biv DeVoe's new song. I'm going to start pinning my pants in a minute. I need to put my, I guess I'll turn the lights on in here. At 11 o'clock this morning, it was 101 degrees. I saw Santa Monica is hitting 121 tomorrow. Not sure how far you are. What's your temperature? I'm not too far from there at all. My car said today it was 109, and I kind of didn't believe it because the car, it has the engine temperature and everything else going off. So it's hot. It's hot where I live. It is unreal. And with all the fires going on, like when I walked outside, I was like, oh, it's just a recipe for disaster. Well, I heard I have Sirius radio in my car, and I heard it in my car, and they said it was a new song, and I typed it in, and apparently it came out 8 months ago. I like it. I like it. But, I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I'm stuck in the past. Let me grab my That's insane. I would be ready to go. Oh, it's unreal. But I live more in the city part, so there's really not a threat. It would have to burn through quite a few rows of houses to get to me. So I'm really not worried about it, but I'm just surrounded by fire all the time. Hey, I'm watching, listening while bagging up clothes to donate to throw away. I was actually just having this conversation with someone this evening. To a hoarder. If I lived any closer, Ty, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. How are you? How are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. It is unreal. You know what's really funny? When I was putting ice in here, I thought of you, Ty. I was like, Ty's going to give me a hard time. So I need to bring my water with me. But Rashawn, for real, it was 109 in my area today. So if it's going to be 121 in Santa Monica tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. And they do not get that weather at all. Santa Monica is where we go to escape the hot weather because it's the beach. Oh, so that's terrible. If that area is gonna if it's gonna be 121 over there tomorrow, that's awful. And it's not even August yet. August is when we get sub-Saharan temperatures around here. So I have a bit of a weird question for anyone who is still here. Is it weird if you see someone that you haven't seen in 20 years? You kind of knew this person, you kind of didn't. In my case, it's been almost 25 years. We kind of saw each other, we kind of acknowledged each other, but we haven't said anything. And it's going on a couple of days, so it's awkward. Las Vegas, I think, was also about to hit a record high, but half of us don't believe in global warming. Oh, it's unreal here. Our weather has completely changed here. Completely changed here. We actually used to be windy and cool here, and it is just hot. It is just hot all the time now. Yay! Hello, Pam. Hello. Let me start panning my pants. Oh. I didn't want to turn that light on because I might start melting. It's still hot and it's evening here. Roads are gonna melt and roofs are gonna melt. Great to see you, Kilroy. Hello, Pam. Great to see you, Kilroy. Hello. Awesome. I'm ready. And everyone I work with loves me because I gave them a couple days off because it's going to be too hot to do anything. So parties all around. Plus it's the 4th of July and we're all on call. So it's not like we're not sitting by our phones anyways. Hello. And you know what? Happy 4th of July to anyone who celebrates it. My neighborhood, I don't have to go to a fireworks show. I know anyone who lives in a city could probably say this, but where I live, I just have to walk outside of my house and go like this. Everybody has mortars. If fireworks are illegal here, you would never know. And it's funny because as the years go on, man, the fireworks get more and more intense. So it's going to be awesome tomorrow, as usual. I don't want to reconnect. At my age. Good to see you is enough. Thank you. It's weird. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've become an agoraphobe myself. I don't know. Yes, tomorrow is July. Yes, I'm excited. I have all the standards. I went and got propane. I'm ready. I am Hank Hill ready for 4th of July. Before I forget, today in 1956, Montel Williams was born, and in 1962, Tom Cruise was born, and in 1890, Idaho became a state, and in 1952, Puerto Rico's constitution was approved by Congress. Oh, excuse me. And while we're on days, today is National Stay Out of the Sun Day. Today is also Air Conditioning Appreciation Day. Today is also American Redneck Day. Greg Bryant, if you're out there, this one's for you. Today is also Disobedience Day. I didn't purchase any fireworks. I really don't have to, because people go off in my city. It's unreal. It's unreal in every direction. And I live at the bottom of a hill, so people are launching them from the hills. So there are fireworks everywhere in my area. Absolutely everywhere in my area. Is it like that where you guys live, or is it only a city thing? And I live a bit in the out. Well, no, I still live in the city, kind of. But what I'm trying to say is, do people set off a ton of fireworks where you live? Or is it just people in Los Angeles are crazy? I didn't stay out of the sun. I'm not sunburned, but I definitely have the borderline sunburn feeling in my shoulders and face. There's a bunch of fires by my house right now, so I have a headache, like an unreal headache, and I know it's from the fires. I know exactly what it's from. Let me switch my angle so I can actually start sewing. I promise you, this is a sewing channel. I love to talk, but I promise you we get things done here in the House of Sewing. And to anyone that is joining right now, or anyone who has recently subscribed, I absolutely appreciate you. And welcome to the fleet. Welcome. All right. Wrong. And that's my famous inhaler and coffee cup. I've had that cup for 7 years. If anyone's wondering about that flag, I put something so crazy on that flag I can't show it on YouTube anymore. Feels like I was watching somebody weld for 15-20 minutes without a welding mask. Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Not a tan, but an annoying amount. Didn't start until last week of June, so I know my area is economically stressed. It's insane. It's insane the amount of fireworks that people set off near my house. I feel sorry for anyone who's a combat veteran or like any kind of sensitive towards anything, because it's unreal in my area. There used to be a lot of fireworks around here, but then my neighbor became a dog breeder. The fireworks are next to nothing now. So now we know who the fireworks person was. Oh, that's funny. Because when stimulus happened, it was bad. Same around here, though. Same in my area, too. People went crazy. People were walking around with 2 watches on. You know what? Now that I think about it, they really haven't been setting them off like they normally have. Maybe this year won't be crazy. I really haven't heard fireworks. Maybe I say that, and tomorrow my entire neighborhood's just going to go. Good times. Fireworks went from May to August. When I lived in the heart of LA, when I lived on Hoover Street, it was like that. When I lived in MacArthur Park, the MacArthur Park area of Los Angeles, it was like that as well. Are you guys, does anybody have any special plans for anything tomorrow? I'm standard. I am USDA certified standard. Hamburgers and hot dogs. I have bratwurst and Polish kielbasa. And I'm going to make potato salad, and I don't know what else, what other side family members are bringing. But 4th of July, if nothing else, it's just a great excuse to eat a ton of food. And I think everybody around here got old kids and kids moved away, so there's really no point. Just fire up the grill and grill a bunch of crap. At least you can eat something. Can't eat fireworks. That's for real. That's for real. Oh, awesome. Awesome. That's the one thing I love about this time of year. I went and got a bunch of propane because I have a special grill. All that it is, it just really it takes two propane tanks because it just needlessly uses a lot of energy. But it looks great. Same meats except for Polish. I love Polish kielbasa. And I know someone's going to twist that around to innuendo, but I love Polish kielbasa. And for anyone keeping score, we've entered the food portion early. It's the 4th of July tomorrow, so I thank you for your participation. And this is not the final product. I thought that this green was this was actually what I wanted the pants to be, but this is the inside. And these are drapes. So I'm making drape pants, and they're in a weird way, they're tweed. Good times. Good times. I have tweed and I'm a charaholic. I am as well. This is the barbecue time of year. I'm excited. But I was raised by someone who barbecued in the rain. Who would be out there in a jacket, smoking a pipe, barbecuing. So I come from a long line of people who are dedicated to grilling. And it's like I've been teaching my son how to cook. I think it's important for men to know how to cook. And now I want him to know how to barbecue. And there are several in this house that he can learn on. I grew up eating lots of sausages. It's once every 3 to 5 years. Things for me now. Honestly, Polish kielbasa remind me of like my mom making breakfast in the morning. It's crazy. It's one of those crazy things. I've been out in a coat grilling at 7 a.m. mid-April. Awesome. I love that. That's dedication. I love dedication like that. Excuse me. I have to think about how I'm going to pin this. So I always have the party here because I don't feel like driving. There's always something crazy going on, Everybody forgets how to drive this time of year. Question. I know you have talent for flowing with the chat, but when are you with your people? Well, when you're with your people, what topics do you usually talk about? Quite honestly, like a lot of it, we try to avoid politics a lot. I don't know, because there's such different views. Like we talk about life and parenting a lot of it is just people relieving stress from everyday life. Everyone has that job that drives you crazy. Everybody has that friend who is the real life Tommy. And if you watched Martin, you know what I'm talking about. That's a good question. You know what? The same way that I come at you guys is the same way that I would come at anybody in real life. I'm one of those people where I know all of my stories. I've had swashbuckling adventures, but I want to hear what's going on in your life. Like, what adventures have you had? Because I know all my stories. I like a good spring girl. Has a totally different vibe. Absolutely. Well, here, like right now, especially right now, my entire neighborhood is coming to life. Because, and I discovered this when I lived in Arizona. Arizona has an amazing nightlife because it's hot during the day and nobody's outside. So at least, keep in mind, my references are from a while ago. But when I was there, like, especially when I went back the third time, the nightlife was amazing. because it's too hot to be out there. He talks about everything. This show is just a slice of life. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the same way that I would talk to anyone, especially like most people I hang out with are, it's very niche. You're either into bikes, sewing, or MMA because I'm I'm a parent. So I'm constantly driving my kid around. As parents, you're a professional chauffeur. But people sometimes have a topic or subject that they only talk with friends about. You know what? There's a lot going, like in family life. I will only talk about family business with my family, and I know they're nosy telling my business to everybody. But I'm not that kind of person. I don't know. A long time ago, I used to stream with people, and they would come on every day, and it was very doom and gloom. And it was like, we're gonna talk about politics and all these things that are anti-conversation. So when I started doing this, I made a choice to actually have a conversation because I want to stream with everybody. I'm not here for one type of person. I'm not here to start a fight. I'm here to sew and waffle. I feel a line of clothing coming. Patent pending. So that's what I do. I sew and talk about life. Sometimes I know I used to have somebody I know used to have a shitty job, and at some point I had to start asking myself, where is the line between venting and therapist? It's really funny. My father used to always say, I'd be like, oh, thank you so much. I just needed to get that off my chest. And my pops would look at me and be like, oh, don't worry, you'll be billed. I love that line. I miss that guy because that was hilarious. It's true, though. There is that weird line between friend and psychiatrist. No worries, Rashawn. Be nosy. Be nosy. It's okay. I'm nosy, too. By nature, I'm nosy. How do you think I know about, like, all that stuff I watch online? That's me, like, being up in people's business, because I love talking politics, but I know I can't talk to everyone about it. Do you know from my experience, it just, people start building these walls, and the closer and I'm not saying we need to like stand and hold hands, but the closer we get around each other, we'll realize that we're more alike than we are way more alike than we think we are. Say absolutely. It's really funny. I'm a bit of a scholar when it comes to that, but I don't talk about it because it starts fights. And I'm a little late responding, but I'm going to a pool party. Awesome. I bought a new pool. You just reminded me, Todd. Hey, Skids, how's it going? After 6 years, my kiddie pool finally was destroyed. So I was walking in Walmart and I was like, this is one of those adult things where you're like, you can buy a pool right now, but should you buy a pool? And I was like, yes, buy the pool. So I will be laying in this thing on the side of my house. Oh, Ty, thank you for reminding me about that. Every time I get into politics, I wind up burning myself out in a couple of months, and I just want to go bowling and get burgers, fries, and milkshakes. Absolutely. Hey, Skids, how's it going? Hey, if anyone wants to hop in, let me know. There's no state secrets here, so if anyone wants to hop in, please let me know. Uh-oh, he said new pool. Now the LA water is gonna get the Stasi is gonna. You know what? Honestly, because of my fountain, they already give me the shame price. So at this point, it doesn't matter. Oh, thank you. I have this thing about like relaxing, and because I'm not a relaxed person, so I try to. And 6 or 7 years ago, I bought my son a kiddie pool. And one day I was cleaning it out, and something told me, hey, man, just lay in the pool for a minute. It was on the weekend when he was with his mom, and I laid in the pool and I was like, oh, this is kind of glorious. So it became my deprivation chamber. And so I need a new one. I'm like even doing the floating motion sitting here. I love that thing. So I had to get a new one. And it gives me an excuse to get some floaties. Should I get a big palm tree or should I get a giant flamenco? I haven't decided yet. Oh. Do you know what's funny? I do not have all my lights on. And so it feels dim in here, but it's still Hades hot in here. All right, I have to pay attention to putting these together. All right, I have that side pinned. I have the smaller table in here just so I can sit down and sew at the same time. I'm gonna have to clear a few things to get the 6 foot back in here permanently. Well, to the point where I could pull the table out all the time. All right. So now I'm just lining everything up. I'm gonna sew it. Perfect. I used to wonder about these old guys who could just sit on the porch in a chair all day and stare at a field. Something clicked in me this year. And now I totally understand. Hey, it takes their process in life right there. That is so therapeutic. It's not even funny. Even for me, being in my backyard and grilling is weirdly therapeutic. Oh, you guys are inspiring me because I'm probably gonna fill the fountain. I might put a bunch of ice in there and jump in there. But lately I've been having some really good holidays. I have a bunch of new neighbors, so there's no drama or anything. So it's been actually good. Oh no. I can't do that. Oh, Rashawn, you can't stare in a field? I could totally stare at it. I work by a giant field. Do you know, I've heard many different views on retiring. Some people are pro never doing anything again. Some people think it's just the worst thing to do. Sorry, I gotta line these pants up. Perfect. Sorry, I'm trying to line these up without too much. And I'm trying to give myself some leg room. I am definitely trying to give myself some leg room on this one. I think you can go when you go, and whenever you go, you do isn't gonna change much. I agree. Can't beat genetics. Now that is the truth. Do not smoke, kids. I cannot only just sit and stare peacefully. I have a thing about open skies that freak me out. Really? That's intriguing to me. Open skies are weirdly inviting to me. But I'm the kind of person like I'm an explorer. I'll make a left on a weird road. Like, I'm that kind of guy that everybody's like, hey, should we turn around? And I'm like, no, let's keep going. But I would never participate in anything that was a scary movie. I just want to put that out there. But I'm a bit of an explorer when it comes to that. That's a phobia I've never heard of. Do you know, back when I was really into boating and I was really into sea doing, I loved being in the middle of a lake and just it felt like the water was endless and looking up at the sky. It felt like it made the world feel endless. But again, that not everybody's the same. 40 minutes till the best holiday of the year. Obviously, Greg Bryant is going to party hard. Great to see you. Great to see you. Hello, hello. Hey, Mona. Hello, hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. I get a feeling like gravity will stop and I'll fall and I will fall up. That's very interesting, Rashawn. That's extremely interesting. In a weird way, I love open sky, especially like when I'm driving, like even when I'm like driving to Vegas or something, I'll pull off on a weird road. There's the old 58 that leads towards the 58. It's the gravelly old road. I always get off on that road. Yay! Hello, hello, Mona. Great to see you. Great to see you. The best holiday of the year is Toyota-thon. Oh, those are some great commercials. Because I had awesome parents. I worked at an amusement park in the late 90s when I was in high school. And my father and mother taped every SmackDown and Raw that I missed. So I have it on VHS. And so the Toyota-thon commercials take me back. I love to be in the ocean and see the clear sky. Exactly. I loved that. Years ago, I fell into a crowd that got me into sea doing, and it's a motorcycle on water, but I miss those days. But never buy a boat if you don't have the commitment. And I'm sure everybody here knows this. We're all adults here. Boat literally means bust out another 1,000. If I was in a horror movie, I would be the bad guy. I don't want to lock people in my basement. You know what? It's so funny you would say that. I keep on seeing an ad for it's a Hugh Grant movie where he's a villain, and I really am not into new movies at all. I sat there and watched the preview over and over. I think I might actually go see that movie. I have to see it's the power of advertising though. It works. It works because now I want to go see the movie. If there aren't at least trees, power lines, it freaks me out. Wow. See, like I could go south towards the city, or I could go north and be out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. And the desert is the definition of spatial perception, because you'll see a mountain. It could be 20 to 30 miles away. It looks really close, but the further you're driving, it gets further and further away. It's crazy when there's nothing to reference where you're going. Hey, Greg, how's it going? How's it going? Disorienting. That's crazy. So when I get my pilot's license, you're the first person. I'm going to come see you first, Rashawn. Airwolf has inspired me to get my pilot's license. I got you, fam. I'll blow up the sky for you tomorrow. Hole in the water you toss money into. They're fun. Like I have to say, up until I owned one, boating is so much fun. And then when you own one, you're like, I own a boat. This is the worst thing ever. It looks. It's wish fulfillment for everyone who had to witness a Mormon knock on the door. I want to see that movie. I live in a predominantly Mormon neighborhood, so I never thought they'd make a movie like that. I grew up in a Mormon neighborhood, and so it's when I saw that I was like, I haven't clicked yet. 15 seconds in, I'm like, still intrigued. 20 seconds in, I'm like, I guess I'm watching this. Oh, the rest 2 days is the boat owner's life, or the day he buys it and the day he sells it. It's true. Let's put that up one more time. You know what it is? I think it's just nostalgia for the fun times I had while doing these things. And so I think that's why most people buy boats and do these crazy things, because you remember the time that you were having fun that one summer with your friends, but then it becomes a lifetime commitment. Oh, if you own a welded aluminum fishing boat, you'll never spend a dime on it. Can't party on it though. Oh, that's true. I need a P row. I do need a little P row. Something to go from place to place. Yay! Hello. So I'm making tweed pants, and I know you're thinking like, William, you're crazy. You're making all this hot stuff during the summer. I'm ready for winter. I'm actually trying to invoke winter with everything that I'm making right now. And I made the pants a little bit bigger because this material does not necessarily negotiate. So I gave myself some room. So these are going to be snowboard size pants. Do you know what's so funny? That was a sport that I was terrible at. Because I surfed, I thought I was going to be this like world-class snowboarder. I was terrible at it. I don't like having my feet locked in. I discovered all these things about myself, but I love the snowboarding clothes. When I lived in Oregon, it's easy to get away with it because it's cold. And so I would wear snowboarding clothes all the time. But in California, it's hot. It was literally 109 in my neighborhood today. So snowboard pants don't go over well when it's 109 outside. It looks like you're making assless chaps. That was 4 or 5 streams ago. And I actually have a DIY video from, oh gosh, almost 2 years ago. I made a DIY video about how to make chaps. Putting you all on TV while I edit vids. Have a great night, Rashawn. Have a great night, Rashawn. If we don't hear from me again, I'll say something controversial later. It looks like it was Stop the Wind. I made, this is drape material. It's tweed. I want to know where this guy gets this because he keeps on coming back with just miles and miles of this material. And I made like a hoodie out of it, but it wasn't until I got in the gym. I'm skating around. I had it on. I was so excited to wear it. And after my 10th lap, I was like, this kind of smells. This smells like cigarettes. Who's smoking in here? The material absorbed every person it had ever come across. And in a weird way, it had this really faint smell of cigarettes. So now I need the whole outfit. But and the funny thing is, I wash everything. I work in a massive care facility, so I'm really weird about washing stuff. I have access to an industrial washer and dryer, so I will throw an entire 5 or 6 yards of material into a washer or dryer because I'm weird about and I know this is a turnoff to some people. Trigger warning, I'm going to talk about bugs, but we live on the same planet. Bed bugs and scabies are real. They're real. So when I get anything from, and I buy most of my stuff secondhand, I flash fry everything. I wash everything. If you see it here, it's been washed at least 2 or 3 times. But it's more because I work in a care facility and I've seen things. And this is literally over a 20-something, almost 30-something, over a lifetime of it. It's not something that happens all the time, but, it's better to be a clean freak. What are we talking? Camels, Marlboros, Cools, or Virginia Slims? I think all of the above. That thing, it smelled like people just hung out next to it and smoking cigarettes. I think a lot of these are coming from aged out hotels because they're completely revitalizing LA. Gentrification is everywhere. I'm not going to sit here and bore you with a 9-hour conversation about it, but a lot of the old stuff I can tell is being ripped down and sold because I'm buying it. So, insulation works both ways. They're great for sitting by the fire. Thank you so much, Mona. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that on. Let me pin this, and I'm gonna put on my picnic shirt because I love that thing, and I completely lined it with red ribbon, so it looks good. I put some effort into it. I don't blame y'all. I'd boil everything exactly, and I think it's because I've grown up more in the I've grown up in the world of caretakers. My mom's been in my whole life. My whole point is that I learned from the best. Wash everything and then ask questions later. 171 degree water on everything. You think I'm playing? I say flash fry everything. But if there's anything you ever learn from me besides turning a sewing machine, if you're going to buy one from the thrift store, is if you buy anything secondhand, wash it. I bought this really cool Def Jam sweatshirt that was too small. My son has this really cool Def Jam sweatshirt, but my initial reaction was to try it on. I washed it. I had to check myself. I was like, you know what? You don't break this rule. I've had bugs in my bed, but never bed bugs. Most of the time it's spiders. Kind of freaky, but they're easy to scare away. I recently had to go on spider patrol at my mom's house. She's like, all right, don't judge me. I need you to take all the spiders out. So I have kind of a weird question. I'm gonna put I keep all my food in airtight containers to prevent pest infestation. You don't want bed bugs or roaches. You'll never get rid of them. Seriously, though. Serious. Same with roaches. Serious. People, man, I gained a reputation because I feed all the cats in the neighborhood. I'm that person. Judge me. I don't care. I feed all the stray cats. I haven't seen a rodent in almost 6 or 7 years. We get stink bugs and biting orange lady. See, Mona, I love ladybugs. If they were biting, that would be awful. That hurts my feelings. That ladybug spot. That's awful. Oh, stink bugs are the worst too. I learned as a kid because I was always like, oh, I'll take care of this. I learned at a young age, don't be that hero. Not spiders in bed. I burn the You sound like my mom. Time my mom called me and she's like, don't judge me. Just come and kill all the spiders. I came with a broom with a towel on it and just took them all out. Oh, good times. Stink bugs are like superhero movies. Used to be you just heard about them. Now they're everywhere. Oh, they're the worst. I'm glad you guys feel my pain. This time of year is just hilarious. My daughter's afraid of them. Screams bloody murder. I laugh at her. Oh. Bug, you always have to remember we are bigger than the bugs. That's what I tell my son. There's one species and they look way different than normal ladybugs. Gardeners will still buy them though. Same with bees. We have beekeepers everywhere where I live. Man, it's the strangest thing. I used to always joke about how I was going to retire and either become a beekeeper or a library curator. Man, there are beekeepers everywhere. Those boxes, they're everywhere in my town. It's the strangest thing. Stink bugs are evil here. I had one tangled in my wig while at work, nearly snatched it. Oh, that is See, that's that. I'd watch that movie. I would watch Ty's movie. That's me and almost crashing back. I have not smoked a cigarette in almost well, actually, I haven't smoked a cigarette in almost 11 years, but I haven't smoked nicotine in almost 8 or 9 years. And I don't know how many times I thought I was flicking the cigarette out the window and it would fly in my car. So trust me, I've done the crazy dance a few times. Ladybugs that bite sounds no, Ty, no. Ladybugs that bite made me want to run in the opposite direction. Stink bugs or earwigs can't bite you. Watching people freak out over them cracks me up. I had a stink bug in my wig. Sounds like it's some weird spy code. That I am a completely even calm person until something like that happens. I have had to teach myself not to emotionally react while I'm driving because I'm left-handed, and I'll look and like turn with myself looking. So I understand. I completely understand. They're cute until they bite you. Exactly. That's like, I think everybody was here the other week when my son came running in with these giant eyes because he tells me, because I told him there's a raccoon on my roof, several of them. And I told him I'm going to cage him and send him to the city. And my son's like, oh, you need to be nice and this and that. He heard him on the roof and he walked out here and he's like, do you need help with the cage? They're doing the Watusi on my roof. I hate earwigs. Their pincers creep me out. Those are pincher bugs. I was wondering what you guys were calling earwigs. We have those everywhere. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. They can't break human skin. They just like touching a car battery that doesn't shock. Just like touching a car battery that doesn't shock you. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. I'm pinning these pants. I promise they will be done sooner than later. You know, I always say this. Sewing is kind of like painting where you spend more time prepping than anything else. Here, oh, when my coworker told me to keep still, I was freaked out. Excuse me. I do not like surprises, so you have to tell me if someone's like, keep still, I'm going to say what, why? I do not like surprises. So if you try to do something jumpy like that, I would be like, I need answers, please. The movies are lying to you about a lot of things. Also, silencers are not quiet. Yeah, because they're well, it depends. Like the gas released ones aren't. Silencers just make it so you might not. Silencers just make it so you might not. Oh, you might not need earplugs. That's it. My nerves cannot take. Oof. You know what? Like, I've been through a lot. I look at myself like, yeah, I'm a tough guy. My son turned the wrong way in the hallway the other day in the dark, and I was like, man, my heart was like gagoosh, gagoosh, gagoosh. Sometimes you just, when you get older. All right. I'm going to have to find that sweatshirt because I think I have a complete outfit. That is so funny. I wonder if these smell like. We'll find out when I'm in the gym. When I'm skating around, it really brings the aroma out of whatever I'm I'm wearing, which is usually my laundry detergent. But in this case, you know, and that's one thing. There are certain materials that you can't wash out. Like My truck, the truck in front of my house, I bought it from a woman. She was an Army Ranger and she smoked. While I was buying the truck from her, she smoked like half a pack in like 15, 20 minutes, you know. I've owned that truck for years and years and years. I can't get the cigarette smoke out. On a rainy day, or if I really like just started hitting the seats, it smells like cigarettes, you know. So it's one of those smells that you can kind of mask it, but in the long run, if someone habitually did something like that around it, you'll never be able to get that smell out. As somebody who buys old. Okay, so I know this is gonna sound crazy. I'm allergic to everything. So I use Riso. I use the cheap stuff. It's the strangest thing. I'm not allergic to it. I use Riso or Fabuloso, and I use laundry detergent in my washer and dryer, and I use laundry sheets. So I go overboard with the smell. I mean, I go so, and it's funny. I'll walk past people and they're like, did you do laundry? Because I reek of laundry detergent. I over deodorize my clothes, but I wash them. But for real, I use I don't know. To me, I'm not trying to give away state secrets, but to me, it's all the same stuff. But again, I grew up on house brand. I laugh at my son when we're at the store and he's like, I want to get this. And I'm like, get the house brand. Because in my day, we didn't have choice. I grew up on like Malta-Meal. I grew up on that stuff. So, you know, to me, I don't have a problem with it. And plus, I wash clothes like I live in a hotel. I'm not going to sit up here in front. I change all the time. I wear black like Wednesday Addams. So I'm constantly washing clothes, hanging stuff, you know. Cloth seats. Try Simple Green. The Navy uses it for deep cleaning and it's cheap and you can always get it anywhere, which is probably why the Navy uses it. Simple Green gives me pneumonia when I breathe. That stuff is everywhere here. That stuff, the Simple Green, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, Fabuloso. Yes, I use that stuff. I am like, I grew up around really bougie people. I try not to be that way, man. If it works, I will tell you. I'm weird. I think they put too much lilac or too much dye in the Tide, and I'm allergic to it. But all that other stuff, and people tell me all the time, they're like, and they tell my son, they're like, you smell so good. It's his clothes. But that was my one man thing. When I went out in the real world, I can't believe I'm telling on myself. It's not that I didn't know how to wash clothes. I didn't know how to wash clothes. And I would use fabric softener as detergent. I learned the hard way. So now I'm no joke when it comes to washing clothes. I have a whole process. I use vinegar to clean with. You know, I actually do too. I use vinegar for a lot of stuff. You know, and it depends on the situation, but I use vinegar for a lot of stuff. And it's a good weed killer. I don't know who needs to hear this. If you want your backyard to smell like a salad. One year we got a bunch of vinegar at my job and my pops was like, oh, let's go in the backyard. We put it in the backyard. That stuff actually is a good weed killer. Does the tuck have the cloth seats? Oh, no. Oh, does the truck have the cloth seats? Yes, and they're original cloth seats. Yes, they're original cloth seats. It reeks of cigarettes. That's why when smell-o-vision gets invented on the internet, you guys are going to be like, oh, sewing. Did you ever put dish soap in the washing machine? Do you know what's really funny? Last night, I washed my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher. I know that's a controversy, but I ran out of dish soap. I have giant jugs of Dial hand soap. I put it in the hot water. It got soapy. I was scrubbing my dishes. To me, it's the same thing. My son was like, that's not the same. To me, man, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. My mom started using vinegar a few years ago, but it's strong. Vinegar, you start smelling like a salad. You do. Oh, and I'll try that vinegar on my weeds. I wasted money on weed killer, and it's been a fail. To me, there's more natural stuff than a lot of the chemical stuff. But I learned from like old school farmers. You know what's really funny? Everywhere in my backyard when I'm filming my ASMR videos, there's 2 patches of grass, and that's where I killed all the weeds with the vinegar, and the grass is thriving. You can see in my videos the grass is thriving, and I poured buckets of vinegar in my grass. To my neighbors were like, do you smell anything weird? And I'm like, no, I don't smell anything. I bleached the damn weed. Oh, and the bugs hate it too. It's an 88. The foam is no good anymore. Cut the seeds to use a pattern. Replace the foam, but some formula foam, and sew some suede to them. Do you know what's really funny? I was just gonna put a cover over it, Greg, but you're right. The foam is rotted. The foam is everything in the 88 is original. Everything in the 88 is original. The truck I was talking about that smelled like smoke, that's a 2001. That a lot of stuff has been replaced on that. Vinegar, salt, and Dawn kills weeds and bugs. I'm telling you, that stuff works. I'm telling you. It has for me. And I will gladly pass all this down. They used to tell me this stuff like it's state secret, and I'm like, everybody should know this, so you don't spend money on that ridiculous stuff. I killed all my weeds with a number of things, except for Morse tail doesn't die. So now I just have a Morse tail garden. Most people, I want all natural stuff that's safe for everybody. Me, give me that World War I shit. I'm telling you, I had this stuff on my job. It had skull and crossbones all over it. And all over it, it said, do not sell in the state of California. I live deep in the state of California. But they kept on selling it to me. I need some water. Hey, Alibaba, hey. I even had it in the car, and somebody was like, is this legal? And I'm like, I don't know. Yay, how's it going, Ollie? Hello. I'll put that there for now. I keep on forgetting that I have the Singer Heavy Duty here. I never thought I'd actually be using this. Yes, I am making pants, Alibaba. I'm making tweed, drape tweed pants. These pants are former drapes that are on. Well, I don't know if it's 100% tweed. It's always woven with something synthetic. That's how they can pump so much of this stuff out. I used triple strength Sahara. It killed everything for a year except for Morcel. Morcel just laughed at it. Absolutely. I bet you it was just don't sell this on any random boob in the state to any random boob in the state of California. It's fine to sell to people who know their shit. They'll sell it to my job. Like if you were to order it from your house, you couldn't do it. They'll sell if you're at my job at the desk, they'll sell it to you all day long. They hope we're professionals. Oh. You know, I really want to use that camera, but every time I use the camera, it goes out. So I'm trying to learn that lesson. On the truck, if you replace the foam and embroidery new covers, the smell will be gone. I was thinking about that, but it's also the entire back seat is a bench. I'd have to replace everything. And every time you turn the vents on, it's like smoking a pack of Camel. But that truck is on its way. And if you can hear my voice, I'm not kidding you. No, I shouldn't say that because I'm gonna say something crazy on the internet, and then someone's gonna be like, "I'll call your bluff." I am to the point of almost giving that truck away. I am so done with that truck. I'm gonna tow it away, and my neighbors are gonna thank me. I'm that guy who has had a truck sitting in front of his house pre-pandemic, since before the pandemic. And I grew up in a neighborhood where everybody had a Ford or a Chevy on blocks in their driveway. And I have become that guy. But you know, I bought it because it was TARDIS blue. I fell in love with the car and it was a dud. And so it just sits in front of my house. Well, there was that one idiot who sued Roundup for getting cancer, dude, which is using concentrate, non-diluted. But he got money though, didn't he? Oh, I remember that. The things are in the soul of that truck. New seats aren't gonna do. That's for real though. Good to see you, Alibaba. It's good to see you. Yes, that is very true. And it was so funny when I met this person, like she was everything that you would think of like an army ranger. Oh. Oh. Okay, perfect. Took me a second to figure out which chord. Beautiful. What kind of truck is the 2001? It's a Ford F-150. It had an oil leak, but that year, the oil pan and everything is under the driver's side, so you have to move the engine and everything. It's one of the craziest designs I've ever seen. And I don't have the time nor the patience to do the work, and I haven't found anybody that can do it honest. So it sits in front of my house. The smoke is trapped in the foam. The 88 doesn't have a cabin or air filter, but the 2001 should. The 88, I love that. I drove that thing yesterday. I love that truck. Okay, it's on the passenger side against the firewall. Filter is like $12. No, it's drama though. There's like a big leak. It's a bunch of drama. It's a lot more that I'm not describing. Where did my notes go? What did I do with my notes? Here, let me start sewing and I'll find my notes later. I can't. You know what's so funny? I have to bring this up. This singer Heavy Duty so far is performing well. And I'm really testing this thing. I think Greg just volunteered to give Mrs. Sewing a bunch of free auto work. And you know, that's another thing where I live. Oh, excuse me. Mechanics are rich because they can charge a lot of money. So everything I just described to you was like $4,000 or $5,000 worth of work. Yeah, the rest of it's a S show. And is that the year you have to jack up the engine? Yes. You have to jack up the engine and change the oil filter. If he gets to Indiana, I'll hook him up. Greg, you say that. I'm gonna show up with both of my trucks, one towing the other. Oh. All right. Oop, let me move all this stuff. That is just asking for disaster. Perfect. Do you know it smells like smoke in here? Do you know fires are awful because they give you a headache, they make you lethargic, and I think this one is a city fire, and so the smoke is just awful. It's different than when it's just like out in the bush and it's a bunch of brush burning, and that's still bad. That still is just awful, but this just is the worst. Anybody who doesn't do college educated paper pushing jobs can charge a bunch of money now because of the past 50 years. We told high school kids you can do, you you do better going to college or you'll go to hell. It's true, and now no one knows how to change a tire. If I told you how much money I charge people to remove rattlesnakes, the chat would jump. But because of where I lived, I'm considered a professional. But really, it's just I'm not scared of rattlesnakes. And I think, like with most cliches, they're more scared of us than we are of them. Oh, especially right now, there is a boom for anybody that has a certain set of skills where I live. A huge boom. I've replaced every part of my old truck that could possibly rust. I've been through 4 gas tanks, new headers, stainless steel exhaust. I could take apart and rebuild that entire 88. See, the 88 is different than like the 80 I know how to work on. The 2001 I know how to work on. I have a Ford Flex. Open the hood. You open the hood, it is nothing but computers. It's the string. Every time I look at that car, I'm like, how do you run, sir? How do you run, sir? Because it's nothing but computers under the hood. All the like, even it's the same thing with sewing machines. It's the same thing. If you give me an old school sewing machine, I know how. Oh, especially the like anything that's hand crank or treadle, I'll get that thing going in 3 seconds. But if you give me a motorized sewing machine with any kind of screen and it's broken, I'm like, I'm going to give this back to you. Is that the one they stuck a turbo on? No, that's not. I know exactly what you're talking about. No. Or was that the Escape? They did that with quite a few lines. That's like Dodge and Shelby. Shelby had a contract with Dodge and made a bunch of. They made this Shelby this or that, and a lot of those cars were utter incomplete junk. I owned a Dodge Shelby. I can't remember what it was, but it was a piece of. It was. It was a terrible car. Okay. Do you know what's really funny? I wanted my pattern to be this color. Let me switch my angle. Beautiful FaceTime. You're in Indiana, Greg. You're on easy mode. Come here to PA where they spray the aggressive brine that turns your frame into Swiss cheese. Oh, you know what's so funny? That's every time I look towards moving to the beach, people are like, "Hey, if you have a car you love or any kind of vehicle you love, you're gonna have to put it inside." Just to let you know. I'm 45 minutes from Michigan. I'm well into the snow belt. My last truck was an '03 Ram, and the frame rusted all the way through like a 2-inch hole. That's crazy. We really don't get that here unless you live unless you live near the beach or if you keep your car in direct sunlight all the time, like I'm doing right now with my truck. So I wish my pants were going to be this color. I might make them reversible. I don't know. But this is the inside. And when I first purchased it, I thought I was getting this. I love putrid couch colors. But then I discovered it's the actual print of something I've already made. I'm here for it. That's why I'm making pants, because I've already made a giant hoodie out of this particular material. It made it. So far, the Singer Heavy Duty is holding up. I'm surprised because this is one of the most hated sewing machines that I've ever come across. So I'm actually surprised this machine is holding up. Any steel past the 80s is garbage and will rot out in a few years. That 88.4 has minor surface rust. I just sanded the frame and put tractor paint on it. My last truck was an S10 1994 long bed. My pops had an S10 and he put this huge winch on the front. I will never forget that. No one in my family wanted to drive it. Oh, good times. Those are good vehicles. Okay. You know what? I have a bit of a bunch here, but we're just going to sew it and see what happens. Oof. You can hear the machine like struggling through this because this is extremely thick material. This is also the reason why I destroy sewing machines. Perfect. It was a fire service truck. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to have one of those, Ollie. China can't mix concrete or pour steel. I am very familiar with it. I don't hate any truck, but if you're over 5'10", you can't drive a Chevy. They're all made for normalcy. It's kind of true. That's kind of true. Okay, so I need you guys. I need you to talk me out of something. Now that we're sitting here talking, I completely forgot about this. I almost ordered one the other night. I need you to talk me out of buying one of those $2,000 trucks from China. And go. I keep on watching videos. If we want to talk about rabbit holes that we fall down on the internet, I keep on seeing those videos of those $2,000 trucks from China. I want one so bad. Or I don't know if it's from China or Japan. I want one so bad. They don't even vibrate from concrete as far as I have seen. They built a bunch of islands in South China Sea to try to claim it, and they're all sinking because they mixed the concrete wrong. I'm 6'5". I sat in a 2010 Chevy once, my knees touching the knee board, and I was in the front seat all the way back. And me, I'm like trying to stay quiet because I fit in every vehicle. They're a hit and miss trucks. Quality can be good to bad. Yes, Rashawn. Yeah. Because like in my neighborhood, I live near a grocery store, and I seen this dude. He has this I don't know how to say it, pimped out golf cart. I don't even know how to say it. And then this other guy has like the standard golf cart. Someone else has a Polaris. I would pull up in one of those $2,000. I want one so bad. I try not to talk about it because I'm the kind of person, if I talk about something, I'm going to do it. I almost bought one the other night. I stopped myself. I was like, no. And I have a place they can ship it to. I have a professional a warehouse they can ship it to and everything. I want one so bad. It's a lot more. If you wanted to run, no propaganda. They come out of the box running. The list price is $2,000, but when you factor in shipping and import, it costs. Okay, that's true. That's still cheaper than a modern American car. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If you want to get a real motorcycle, they start at $43,000. If you, by modern terms, just to buy a motorcycle, you have to have at least $25,000 to $30,000. Okay, and I'm talking Harley. You can get all different kinds of brands for much less. But if you're buying a car, how much do cars start at? How much? As someone who recently purchased one, they're not cheap. An engine gas in good cost you more than $2,000. The Japanese KV vehicle would be better. Oh, mini truck. I couldn't fit in anything mini. I want one. So I don't know. I don't know if they're necessarily mini. I want one. So you know why? It's because I watch videos about them on YouTube. I want one so bad. People scour junkyards for 351 Windsors. It's true because they're made right. We have a place by my house, Greg. It's called You Pick 'em Parts. It is just endless acres of cars on blocks. And you walk in, they check your tools, they check your toolbox, and then you pick things off the cars, and then you bring them to them like, here, I needed this carburetor. I've pulled windows, I've pulled mirrors, all kinds of just little things out of this one particular junkyard for my truck. It's a fun place to go. I like it. It's Disneyland for anyone who's into anything mechanical. It's a fun place. All right, so let me remove my pins. Pick apart is my safari. You would love the pick apart by my house. It is endless, and they have pick apart regular cars. Then they have pick apart classic across the street where it's all classic cars. And if you were to get rammed by a drunk driver, remember alcohol sales keep going up. So there are more of those. Those Chinese trucks basically become a lunchbox that'll send you to your family to bury. That is true. I feel invincible in my 88. I feel invincible. I do. I won't even lie. I've told the story. A young kid in a Mitsubishi hit me. It destroyed his car. I came home and pulled the dent out. Oh, poor kid. He went to jail because he was driving without a license too. Idiot. But now where I live, it's legal to drive without a license. All right. I'm really checking these pins because nothing's worse when you put a pair of pants on and there's a pin sticking in them. I need to find that. There was a live stream I'm on. I put a jacket on and I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is biting me? And I jumped up because there was pins in the back of the shirt. It's funny now. Oh, beautiful. With that 88, if you get into a crash, the truck will be fine, but you'll be dead as a doorknob. The material cost of a truck frame without assembly should be around $900. I could put that thing together in my front yard. That would be a good project for my son to see. I call him a kid, but he's like in his 30s. Oh, I've just known him for a long time. There's a man by my house. He's selling a 1991 Ford F-150 for $10,000. And anyone remembers, my son asked me about that car almost 2 years. Well, it's been a year about that car, and he's still selling it for $10,000. I have no airbags. We die like men stickers on. Oh, perfect. All right, so this is fixing any mistakes, and this one is in an important spot. You would notice this mistake if I didn't clean this one up. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I hope everyone's having a great evening here in the House of Sewing. I would like to, again, I know I keep on saying this, but I'm shocked I'm still here. I know there's a few people who knew me years ago. They're like, I'm shocked he's still here. I am too. I would like to thank everybody who recently subscribed. You guys are absolutely amazing. I promise to keep sewing, waffling, and be debaucherous as I possibly can. And I thank everybody. Don't bite 80 or 91 was the short run. You already have an 88 anyways. That is true. Either you'll be dead or you'll bounce your head off the steering wheel so hard you'll lose your IQ points and fracture in a second. I want one of those mini trucks so bad. I think it's because I watch too many videos of people who live in I watch ranch life videos. And it's some guy, it's always in Texas because Texas is endless. I've been there. It's an endless place. But Texas actually made a law where these things are kind of illegal now because they were like, wait a minute, we can't tax those things. I tried talking down. I tried taking down a tree with my truck. It'll pull off the ground and rip the bumper apart. Just took a hammer and welded it to fix it. You know, I almost did that with an oak tree in 4 low. I almost did that with an oak tree, thinking my truck was something that it wasn't. Just buy a gator. Oh, excuse me. All right, so let's check. See, oh, I see another air pocket. You know, air pockets are great on really hot pants, but you don't want to see. You don't want people to see what you're wearing underneath. It is not that kind of party. So I'm gonna sew this piece together. This may have a weird pleat in the front. We're gonna find out right now. There we go. Or just buy an actual golf cart. I do have access to like a bunch of them at my job, and we are going to probably buy a bunch of new ones. I try to give opportunities, though, to the other guys to take all that stuff home first. Because it looks bad. So I give everyone an opportunity to take it home, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this one home. Gators are great if the people I hang out with can kill them, they can't be killed. There you go. I think a golf cart. Oh, I think a golf cart is around 8K now. Let's look it up. Excuse me. I kind of want one of those Polaris too. But again, that's because I watch way too much YouTube of people driving around in those things, doing all these epic things. But like to me, I do those things in a truck. So like to have a Polaris would defeat the purpose. I think that's it. There we go. No. Okay, allow. Let's see. There's one. Stay signed out. Oh, there's one for sale by my house for $3,000. There's one for $2,000. Ooh, I can get a Polaris slingshot. That would be cool. You live in the land of nosy a-holes. You can get away with a golf cart. You aren't going to get away with a shitty truck that California will never let you register. They're starting to do that too, though, actually. They gave me a hard time for my 2001. They're actually starting to do that with registering old trucks. Are you fixing up the 88 at all? I am actually completely. Well, see, the thing with the 88 that I like is that there's tons and tons of money in the engine. So when I pull up next to people, they're like, oh, look at that thing. And then all they see is my smoke because I fly. I love my truck. Every time someone drives my truck, they're like, I forgot this thing can go fast. Because you touch on the gas and it responds. He lets it sit because he's busy. As a 3, I need an assistant, and that assistant needs an assistant. The 2001 was a lemming, and so it sits there. The 88, I drive as much as I can possibly get my hands on it. I thought they were more expensive. These are used ones though. These are used, and they're probably I guarantee you. Do you know how shocked I was, Alibaba, when I looked up the price of Vespas that one time? A Vespa is just as expensive as a motorcycle. You're paying the same, if not more, for a Vespa. Okay, here are some things you need to know. I was shocked when I found out how much those mini motorcycles were. Because, bikers always joke about how those things look cool, but you would never want your friends to see you on one. But they do. They look like fun. And so when I looked up the price, I couldn't believe how expensive Vespas were. But it makes sense. They're fine-tuned machines like anything else. No disrespect to the Vespa community whatsoever. The Vespa delegation. Oh, I think I see a pin in there. I'm extremely cautious. Oh, those are amazing. Have a great night, Mona. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to throw these extremely hot pants on. And warning to everybody, they're not hot pants. They're just pants that are hot. The bed weighs about 400 pounds. Pull the tag it off, and 2 people can lift it. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you buy a new golf cart, you're basically paying for the new bat. So true. This is so true. If you buy a used one and change out the batteries, the new ones you get, with the new ones you get, the golf cart is a fraction of the price. Very much so, because that's all modern golf carts are, is just a bunch of batteries. That's why every time I think of a golf cart, there's some in the middle bay at my job. They're old. They need help. They're just sitting there, but like the seats are open and it's nothing but battery bays. Pulling the bed makes everything so much easier. Yeah, but I don't even want to say it out loud. If you have to change the oil pan gasket, you can go and you're going to have to lift the engine, change the engine mount when you do that. That's not a bad idea. And when I mean pull the engine, I mean, oh yeah, I actually have everything to do it. All right, so let's try these pants on. Actually, let me clean up a little bit. I have the pool in the middle of the room in here. No, I go back and watch everything. I'm really thinking about getting rid of my truck. Not the 88. The 88 is coming with me, but the other one I'm so sick of it. It's been sitting in my house, in front of my house for 4 years, if probably 5. Oh, I am that neighbor. When you drive by and they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy, that truck has been there forever." That literally is me. So I'm trying to, trying to be nice to my neighbors. Oh. Oh man. Like I've been saying, I really don't come out here during the day because it's hot. So it is a mess in here today. Make sure you buy OEM bolt replacements for LCM and for $80. The bed bolts are effed up, and shoulder bolts that is custom are going to break the old ones. Yay. I'm enjoying the ride. Keep it up. All right. I promise I won't be showing any ankle or leg this evening. I like LMC. They have good parts. They do. I'm trying to save him days off of my life I have wasted. You know what, honestly though, I'm mad at that truck, so I'm over it. I would give that thing away. That's what I was trying not to say earlier, because one time I said that and somebody was like, okay. I'm a capitalist. I'm not necessarily just going to give it to you, but I'm over that truck. And it's been 5 years of it being non-operable. I got in a whole like row with the state of California over the registration. It's been drama. Oh. Do you know what the funny thing is? These pants look extremely pajama, and they're not. Oh, this is so warm. Gotta give that up. I do. I gotta get rid of that. Oh, where's Ty's comment? Gotta give that up. I gotta get rid of that truck. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Got to give it up. All right, I'm just looking for my belt. I have my other one here. For some reason, I thought I had it here. I don't want your 2001 Ford. You couldn't pay me to take it. That goes to the scrapyard. Yeah, that thing. They were over ambitious with that. They were over ambitious making those. Okay. I love that Marvin Gaye song. Oh, that fell back behind the cabinet. Oh, these look like pajamas. This camera is not doing justice. These pants are thick. They are thick. These are the kind of pants where someone's like, hey, where'd you get those? Just like, hey, man, I paid $900 for these ugly pants. These are awesome. These are made out of a tweed drape material. They do not breathe. I have the fan directly on me. I cannot feel the fan. I have a fan on the floor. I cannot feel it. These things do not breathe. I love that song. Got to give it. I love that song. Thank you, Alibaba. Thank you. Let me grab my other phone. Oh yeah, and you also need a cutoff wheel. It's a bolt takes more than 5 minutes. Just immediately cut it off. They look like the pants you get in a mental institution. These look like the walls of a mental institution. I love these things. The dark color is not doing justice. Let me get my other camera. These have those old school 1980s swirls on them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ty. Thank you. Let me switch my camera. These have those really weird oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's great. This is definitely another victory here in the House of Sewing. Oh, that's hilarious. Do you know what's really funny? That's what I tell my son will like not want to get rid of a shirt, and I'm like, go like this. Hold on. Oh, without a rip, Ty. Without a rip. I could do a kick. Oh, these pants are ready to go. I can do my full Steven Seagal kick. He'll throw his back. I'll feel it in the morning. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna feel my kicks. I used to be extremely flexible, And to my flexible people, one day I stopped becoming flexible because I didn't stretch as much. So if you continue to stretch, you'll remain flexible. You look like the villain of an off-brand comic book. I love that. Thank you, Alibaba. Thank you. That is like the kick test is the true test to see if the crotch doesn't rip. What was I wearing the other day? I can't remember now. I don't know if it was this or something. It was a pants. I heard it rip and I'm like, oh no, I can fix that. I can fix that. Ah, good times. He looks like one of the henchmen of the bad guys in the A-Team episode. I loved the A-Team. That was my show when I was a little kid. I love that. And it's also because I met Mr. T. And so I always had love for Mr. T. I met him when I was a little kid. Him and Eric Estrada. Oh. Oh. Victory. Like the dude at the end of the episode that just stares malicious. I'll take that. I have the eyebrows. People always think I'm giving dirty looks anyways. I'm not giving you dirty looks. I'm nearsighted. And I refuse to wear my glasses. Yoga Lattes will do the trick. I tell anyone who thinks they're like, because I know some hardcore tough guys, and I always tell them, you think you're tough? Go take a yoga class. I took a yoga class and I was crawling out of there. Like, literally getting laughed at as people walk by me. They're like, ha ha, mortal. Yoga will put you out. Let's see. There is other things that that I should be working on. There was something else that I was going to work on that I completely can't remember. I have a bunch of other projects. I'm actually really shocked that I finished the picnic hoodie. It took forever for some reason. You know what's really funny? I've done something over and over and over, and then last week I was like, or this week I was kind of like, I'll get to it, and I started procrastinating on it. I think that's why you shouldn't do the same thing over and over. Okay, I hate Baywatch, but but you could be the dude on the beach who is up to no good. This house respects the Hoff. Oh, I loved Baywatch. And you know, it's funny. I watched Baywatch because I watched Knight Rider, and I'm like, let's see what this is about. And I ended up watching every episode. Now I have the theme song stuck in my head. Give me one quick second. I'm gonna grab a Hawaiian punch or a mug. And I'm muted. You know, I couldn't decide what to do with this, so I'm just going to cover this thing in patches. This is a giant patch that I haven't finished yet. But, you know, this thing is old. I'm going to wear it under a vest. I'm going to cover this thing in patches. I let my stepdad use my Hulu when he retired. He watched all of them at once. I love that show. Get a Snickers too. Maybe you'll turn into Betty White. Every 40 minutes was the Hoff who sings as much. The Hoff is huge in Germany. David Hasselhoff is famous. There's other people like that. You'd be surprised. Like you go to other countries and you're like, there was a rapper named J. Rue the Damager. He moved to like Denmark and never moved back. Or somewhere like that. He moved somewhere where I was so shocked. When he finished, I thought it was finally over. Oh no, they made a show called Baywatch Nights, and the lifeguards was a detective at night. Baywatch Nights was awesome as well. I never watched Baywatch, but now I got it. It's just classic cheesy 90s television. Everything was overdrawn. Everything was synthesizer music at the end. When they come to the conclusion, I miss that stuff. It's after school special bad, like 21 Jump Street. Okay, I loved the first 21 Jump Street. I loved that show. That's back when I didn't know anything about the world. Oh wait, that was the 90s. Yeah, so it was, you know what though? A lot of the early 90s stuff is basically still the 80s. So I like it. I like it. You can always tell by the clothes. Especially like in the 90s, in the early seasons, like even Night Court was a perfect example. And yes, Kilroy, I'm working in Night Court. Their show went from like the mid 80s all the way into the 90s. You see the progression of the fashion over time and the cameras as well, because the technology gets better. But it's worth watching. I watched all of this when it was out. I did too. I'm really not into modern television. I have cable. I have it basically to watch sports. I watch a lot of off sports. I was watching women's lacrosse last night. I do not play when it comes to sports. But when it comes to television, I'm really not up on a lot of modern stuff. I watch a lot of old school stuff. A lot. So I still watch a lot of this. All you gotta do is work in Hawaii 5-0, and we'll be done. We'll be done with the whole rotation. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it for sale, and I'm tactile. I like to touch it because I could order all of this on Amazon, but that like will kill the fun. I still am this close to ordering Magnum PI. Having it constantly on during the pandemic broke me of it. There's certain shows like that. There's certain shows that I absolutely love, and I watch them, and I'm like, kind of over it. Or there's certain shows like Enterprise. I don't know how many years I've been watching this show, and I still love it. I still love this show. I go like 8 months on, 8 months off. Let's see what else. Have you ever worn something that you would consider crazy or from a different culture? Like, have you ever worn lederhosen or a sombrero or a kimono? Or have you ever worn something that's from a different culture? And I'm not talking about like, it has to be a completely different culture. I'm just old enough where do not make up for bad acting anymore. Now that's a t-shirt. But what's your fashion? But have you worn anything that you would consider out of the norm? Oh, here we go. I used to wear Dutch wooden shoes all the time. I really wondered about that. Every time I would see those shoes, I'm like, do people really wear those? I've always wondered about that. If the Baywatch people were around today, they would have been sent up. They would have. No, not even an appropriation, just in any way. Like, is there anything that you've worn that you've been like, well, this isn't my culture, but I like it? You know, I forgot to send that picture. Wow. Sorry, I'm looking at something else. Okay, let's go to X. And there's another question I have you. It's kind of a funny one, not funny one, but it's one of those things. I was sitting in my car and I was contemplating the world, and mud doesn't stick to wooden shoes at all. I've wondered about that. Says the guy who has to buy like fancy boots just to go trudging in the mud. Okay. So I'm going to show you a picture, and where I'm not going to give it away yet, to Twitter. And this is nothing deep. This is just one of those weird things when I was eating in the car today. I went as a Virgin Mary for Halloween in 5th grade to annoy my teachers. Does that count? No. Did it work? I have so many questions now, but did it work? Okay, so let me find. Okay, so I have a question. Why, oh, does this ice make everything taste better? I'm not trying to even be deep. I'm not trying to be philosophical, but I sat there and I'm like, why does this ice make everything taste better? Where I'm from, we call it the good ice. I have no idea. I ordered a chili dog and chili fries because we're not living on this planet forever. And I got a large Sprite. Why does this ice make everything taste better? It is the strangest thing to me. I moved from LA to the Bible Belt in the 5th grade. Yes, it worked. That was the height of the satanic panic of the my refrigerator has an option to do this, and my son and I constantly get in this debate about, and I tell him this ice makes everything taste better, and he's like, no, it doesn't. It's a condition of the mind, which I also agree with. But why does the small ice make everything taste better? Where I'm from, we call it the good ice, but I'm sure it's called something somewhere else. Like I said, it's nothing too deep. I told one of them I was going to be a serial killer when I grew up, and they called child services. Wow. Do you know what's so funny? In California, they would have put their arm around you and been like, let's try something else. All right. See, I'm trying not to start another 3-hour project right now. So I'm like looking for stuff to finish before I go on another, because that's the funny thing with sewing. You start something and you look up and you're like, oh, it's been 4 hours. All right. So I'm gonna take these extremely hot pants off. I'm definitely gonna call these a victory. These pants came out perfect. I'm gonna find that hoodie for Friday's sews. It's gonna be a really weird combination, but it looks good. So I'm excited. Do you know, it's so funny to me. I think I found the tweed section of Los Angeles. This particular market I go to, they have tweed everywhere, and it's this weird competition. It's the strangest thing. But in downtown, they really do not have tweed like that. It's everything else that you could possibly think of. It's like, and because it's like the manufacturing hub of Los Angeles, I can find a ton of tweed there, but nothing like I find in the San Fernando Valley. It really boggles my mind of why it's so different, and why the people who literally manufacture this stuff really don't have it around like they do everywhere else. But it's one of those another one of those weird sewing mysteries. I lost my pants for a second. It took me. There's a bunch of stuff on top of it. I'm like, there's no way those things just walked out of here. Should have told them to ignore me when I was just mischievous. I didn't care for psychology, but I gotta admit she nailed it. Oh, perfect. I grew up in an extremely no-nonsense household, so I never got away with things like that. Is the San Fernando Valley still where they film all the prawn? Well, actually, it's most of it's moved to Florida because California passed a bunch of hardcore laws. And so most of the industries moved to Florida, and those companies that you think of have big, giant skyscrapers now because they're legitimate companies. You're innocent. But yeah, the San Fernando Valley is still a huge. You know what's funny? It's not like the old days. It's like that whole industry is way more professional. I did too. I just got immune to getting my ass beat. Yeah, the con. Yeah, see, you already know why. And when that happened, there was a mass exodus out of. Well, let's be real. There's a lot of people that moved out of here, but our population is so huge. A lot, like, kind of don't notice. It's sad. It's sad. You'd be surprised. Up the street from my house, you can go tour it. They still have the entire set to Melrose Place. You'd be so surprised. All that stuff is still around. It's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere. Then one day people get bored and they put it up. They literally moved that entire set of Melrose Place and it sits on a hill out by my house. I still have a ways to go in this room, but thank you. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you. Thank you. I try. I try to take abstract things and make them into practical clothes. I'm into fashion. I'm into high fashion, but I don't wear all that she stuff. You know, I'm more into everyday practical stuff, and I do wear crazy stuff. I'm not sitting here saying I don't, but I like things that are more practical. That is very generational. That is extremely generational. And I don't want to say kids nowadays wouldn't even know what that sentence means, but a lot would not. You know what? I will worry about this later. Let's cut some arms. Now that we're gathered here, we can go for a little bit longer. I have a shirt that I have not finished. Somebody found a bunch of fabric from the Johnny Carson show, and you're buying it. I hope. Oh. You know, I have no idea why I haven't finished this shirt. I made this a while ago So I'm gonna put some arms on this. This is a perfect opportunity to finish that shirt. I was the get a switch generation. I say that about there's a certain generation you can always tell. You can tell the get a switch generation. I still have a Carson shirt. I have a Letterman shirt, but um I didn't realize how much it was going to trigger people. There was this really weird East Coast West Coast thing where I live. People love Jay Leno on the West Coast. I dare you to challenge that. People love Jay Leno. So if you wear a Letterman shirt, someone will say something to you. Not in a mean way, but they'll just be like, hey. Now, here's the problem with me. I was in the yard getting a switch. I came across a whole tree limb a storm took down. I dragged the whole thing like it did hooker right up and laughing the whole way. That explains a lot, Greg. That actually explains a lot. Oh, all right. I'm going to grab my table. Oh man, I can feel the damage from the smoke today. Fire breathing in smoke from a fire is not good for your body. It is not good at all. And in my house, I have all kinds of filters, all kinds of stuff that I never talk about, but I was outside. So it didn't help. The story explains everything about me. Nothing hurts when you're laughing. And it does drive other people crazy when you laugh. All right. So we're going to find out. Are you... Hey, my oopsie came with another oopsie inside. That's a score. I didn't even know my oopsie had an oopsie inside. Isn't that hilarious? That never happens. Someone at Walmart gave me a gift because this was double wrapped. Oh, that's hilarious. And it's pretty decent too. It's not like... Oh, that is hilarious. Like I said, it got flash fried. Oh, that's hilarious. Cool. Free fabric? I'm down. All right. So I'm pulling this out because I'm going to make arms for this shirt that I should have a while ago. It's this really weird knitted material, and I've been trying to figure out what to do, but black goes with everything. So I'm just going to give it black arms. And I dropped my action cam back behind everything. My mother's an Irish Catholic from New Jersey. She could do more than enough damage with her mouth, and physical hits stopped hurting in a couple of days. Vocal ones will replay in your head for weeks. It's true. Extremely true. And Catholics, their superpower is guilt. All right. Now that I'm sitting here, I'm going to have to switch out the bobbin. I play bobbin roulette where I'm like, should I switch it out? But I can't even fake the funk with red because it completely sticks out. I think I have a wound bobbin or two here. Let's see what happens. Perfect. All right, let me take this out and switch the bobbin out. Oh, you're burning hell for that one. I grew up hardcore Roman Catholic, so I know all about that. I grew up like the real deal. I swore. Oh, there it is. I'm looking for a spool of thread that's literally like right in front of my face. Perfect. I feel a bit lethargic, and it's from the fires. It really got me today. If you think you need to hit a kid, you aren't being creative enough. I went to Catholic school too, got threatened to be dragged to the nuns by my parents. They don't play, man. Different laws had passed by the time I'd come around, so they weren't allowed to get crazy with us. And they would tell us, they're like, you're so lucky it's not the 70s. I'll never forget that. Oh, what beautiful. Perfect. One of the do you know what's so funny? When I see how to thread a sewing machine tutorials, I'm like, oh yeah, I should do one of those. The kids who never got hit are the ones who fear it. I had a tunnel rat for a damn beat my ass. Pain doesn't scare me. Quebec is like that too. Same in Newfoundland and Ireland. They all talk fondly of the amount of times that they were burned to death. I grew up like that. Like, you reach a certain point where you're scared of everything, and then you're like, well, nothing happened. I used to think about that all the time. They tell me all these things, and I would do it, and I'm like, well, that didn't happen. Perfect. Do you know what's so funny? When I'm not online, it takes me 3 seconds to do this. But when I'm sitting here thinking about it, it takes me a little bit longer. That's funny. Perfect. All right. So I have that switched out. Let me grab my pattern. Oh, man. Do you know, the older I get, I don't know how many of those 100 and something days I can take. Good thing is, though, tomorrow I'll be hidden in the house. My air conditioning works beautiful. Especially this time of year. My thing about air conditioning, though, is that I get so comfortable. Like, I wake up in the morning, I turn it on, because like I turn it off because at night I really don't need it, depending on the night. But then I turn it on and I want to go back to sleep. I just want to go right back to sleep after I turn that thing on. The air conditioner puts me out like big sleep. Even in the MMA gym, they have a really, really nice swamp cooler, and it really cools that place down. I'm falling asleep in there. And that's not the arm. Does that happen to anybody else? Air conditioning puts me down. Okay, hopefully that's the arm. I think that is. It has arm. The arm. It's not. Yikes. That means I ripped. Did I rip the arm one? Interesting. We were all latchkey kids. I don't think any discipline would have worked. That is true. That is true. I was a latchkey kid. I was. And like all the crazy things I did were from that one bad friend. Oh. Okay. So this has to be the arm. Let's try not to rip it like it already is. Good grief. This thing is smashed. Beautiful. I really need to come through with some scotch tape and rescue this. You can tell a well-used pattern. Beautiful. Perfect. Yay. I crawl under my blanket and it's over. Oh, absolutely, man. Like, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you, Ty. Like, it's the craziest thing. I get too comfortable with the air conditioning. The air conditioning puts me down, even in my car. But I really haven't had to deal with traffic. Like today, I dealt with traffic, and it reminded me of why I want to live somewhere else. But you know what? When I moved to Vegas, when I recently went to Vegas, I noticed they had a ton of traffic. It reminded me of LA. That was like my number one complaint was I literally came from a place with traffic to drive to a place that had nothing but traffic. I only have a room. Air conditioning for sleeping, it makes you lazy. I was that one bad friend. I had to get an AC, had nasty heat rashes all over my body. A happy side effect is that I think it's helping my level out. Awesome, my autoimmune thing. I keep my meat locker in 24/7. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, that I am pro air conditioning. It wasn't until I moved out of California did I realize that I can't say without laughing that not everybody has like air conditioning, central air. Not everybody, especially like in certain old school places. Like I was really surprised. A lot of places in New York didn't, and it gets hot in New York, doesn't it? It can't be cold all the time. As somebody who lives in the West, I like when I lived in Arizona, perfect example, okay? Air conditioning was already factored in your bill. They knew you were going to run that thing 24 hours a day. So, if you rented an apartment or something, you really were not paying for air conditioning. Because they know it's hot. They know you're going to run the thing, you know. Again, my reference is from 25 years ago. I'm sure they found all new kinds of ways to rip you off. Oh, man. That fire had done something else on my sinuses. I have central air and it knocks me out. Thank you. Thank you. It like my air puts me out. I don't have central heat. I didn't have central heat until a few years ago. It gets into the hundreds here with 100% humidity, just work in the sun, and the shade feels like AC. Yeah, we say that at my job until you walk in the office. Because I like the office opens up to a giant bay, and it's 3 huge bays. And the office is air conditioned, and when people walk in, they're like, okay, that's a difference. Because it's freezing in the office. Just work in the sun where it's 100 with 100% humidity. It's the magical bullet you think it is, Craig. Is it the magical bullet you think it is? Oh, I'm telling you, the older I get, if it's too cold or if it's too hot, I'm going to say something. I can't hang either way. And it used to be the exact opposite. I feel like if I download the chat transcript, I will have the information necessary to build an 88 floor. Grace giving me some solid advice, actually. I'm looking at my 88 right now. That thing is right in front of my security camera. Do you come to cause mayhem in the house of sewing? I'll see you. Oh, my people die young for a reason. You can call me on Discord and I could walk you through it. Hey, don't say that. I'm going to call you on Discord. And I'm going to be standing in front of my truck like, okay, what did you say? The only thing I'll say that, like, the only mean thing that I put on that truck is I have a train horn. And let me tell you about the reaction that you get when you push on that thing, it goes wah, and people are like, what is going on? With my train horn, people have thrown full sodas at my truck. People have they have read the riot act at me. You should be in my Discord. It's wild. That's the only mean thing I put on my truck. Everything else is like just to make it go fast. But the train horn is the one. I had it. I a long time ago, I honked at somebody with my father was in the truck, and somebody threw their lunch and their soda, and it covered my dad because he had his window down. He walked over and snapped my train horn. He cut the cord. Years later, I forgot I had that thing on the truck. Years later, I reconnected it, and now I know why people hate people who have train horns on their car. It's old enough. Are you allowed to pull the smog pump? No, no. I live in Los Angeles. The smog pump is real science. If the smog pump is actually really interesting, if you think about it, because in the late 80s we didn't have it, and through cooperation and technology, we actually clean the air. So the smog pump works if people actually have them on their vehicles. But because of all the fires and everything, it's kind of negated the work that people have done with the smog pump. Just buy a ship horn. My train horn starts fights. It does. I'll be the first one to admit it. The tone is low enough that they're loud, and they're loud enough that it'll be hard to tell who has the ship horn. Oh, there was a year you didn't have you didn't have to have it. With now, you have to get smog checked every year to have a vehicle in California. I didn't realize how difficult it was until someone that I knew from Missouri tried to get a license, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they make you jump through all these hoops, but I'm from here, so it's one of those strange things. The first gen Ford EGR was god awful. Cadillac's all good. I have 2 of them on my truck. Smog pump was trash. Oh. I'm gonna find out. Oh, this is more stringy material. Beautiful. This is actually an extremely productive evening. I haven't got this far with this in a long time. All right, okay, so let's see what these arms are gonna look like. I hope that's not too emo. I get weird with these cuffs because I don't know how to cut them too. I don't want to cut them too short, so I always end up cutting them long. I thought classic cars were exempt. They are, but they changed a lot of the laws what the definition of a classic car is. And so not necessarily a truck, even like something from the 60s would not be considered a classic truck. And with older trucks, they make you register it every year. With other vehicles, they'll give you a good 1.5 to 2-year period with your tags. And here in California, if you have what's considered an older car, but not classic, they make you register it every year. And the registration is like $600 or $700. So they're really trying to get the old cars off the road. With my truck, I used to get pulled over all the time. And honestly, it's because they're trying to get old trucks off the road. I didn't even think it was anything nefarious because I know someone that owns the identical truck as I do. and they look like a human Muppet. He looks like, who is that? The drummer? Anyways, he got pulled over all the time because they were trying, they want older trucks off the road. It's the strangest thing. I was tempted to turn into bed. Oh, I was tempted to turn the bed into a hot tub and use the smog pump to circulate the water. I might do that with my truck sitting in front of my house. Turn it. Now I have a crane. I could pull that thing and put it over my house, put it in my backyard, and turn it into a hot tub. That's not a bad. Greg's over here giving me bad ideas that sound good. Oh, we're gonna find out. Oh, that's sheer. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, that is sheer. All right, let me get my pens. This is gonna be hilarious. All right. Let's see what else happened today. It's funny how when it gets real hot, people start hiding. All the parents were sitting in their cars with their motors on. And I'm like, man, you guys must be rich because gas is like almost $6 here. And I know they're not. But I'm just saying, like, it was crazy. People sitting in their cars with their cars running. I try to save gas. Gas is expensive where I live, and I do a lot of driving, but I don't do things like idly, like just sit in my car and let it idle and suck up the gas. But it was hot. I'm judging, not judging. All right, make sure that's on both sides. Perfect. All right, pull this closer. Perfect. Man, that fire did something else at my sinuses today. A running engine has heat waste. Just run clear water through the cooling system, and you have a gas-powered hot tub. You don't need the truck, just the engine. I'm dramatic. I like shocking my neighbors. I would love to show up with a crane and put something over my roof. There was somebody who offered me $10,000 for my palm tree, and I almost ripped it out. And I thought they were scamming, and I thought it was a scam. But for a while, the palms in Vegas was going around, because palm trees are expensive, and I didn't realize how expensive they were. And this guy offered me money. I was like, dude, you're just chatting. But I later found out it was real. The palm tree world is actually an extremely competitive world I knew nothing about, but they're extremely expensive. And I thought that was hilarious when I found that out. And now I'm wondering where that guy is. All right. Do you know I'm proud of myself because I haven't attacked my refrigerator yet. I have all the stuff for tomorrow sitting in my fridge. Oh yeah, this is a strange material. So I'm proud of myself for not attacking it yet. Let's see how that last piece came out. Close enough. We'll sew this together right here. Perfect. You don't need. Oh, palm trees. I was shocked when I found out how expensive they were. I thought the guy was just. I thought he was, I work in a business where all the time people are trying to sell me stuff all the time. I'm not even trying to be mean. I don't believe them. I know they're trying to get over on me. I know a lot of these people work for commission. So when people come at me, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, But that whole palm tree thing was real, and I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad. There were people, it was so real that there were people who were arrested on along our freeways because our freeways are nothing but palm trees. And most of the streets in LA are lined with palm trees. And so I was shocked when I found out how expensive they were. Florida and Cali can get all the good trees that I'm jealous of. Are you talking about trees? Like our real trees? I have a fruitless mulberry. I have a fruitless mulberry in my backyard. I have an avocado plant. As a matter of fact, let me show something really quick. It makes me laugh because I'm like, did I ever get a shot of that? And I did. I have a giant plant in my backyard that I don't know if people notice or not, but it makes me laugh because every time someone asks me, what is that? And I'm like, you don't know what that is? Let me pull it up. My last video. Hey, I gained a subscriber. Thank you. Let me see. Can you see it in this one? Yes, you can clearly see it in that. You can grow avocados. Yeah. Yes. We can grow all kinds of stuff and tropical nut trees, all kinds. Well, Florida is better for that, but here we can grow almost anything. But in my backyard, I brought that plant in, and it was in the planter it's in now, but it was barely just one little bud. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, there it is. Present. So in the corner here, right back behind my chair, that's aloe vera. My aloe vera plant is out of control. It's taken over the planter. It's huge. I collected all these weird plants from my grandmother's house. She had elephant ears, all these what I consider old school plants. Man, when I took that aloe vera home, it was tiny. Look at that thing now. It is huge. And it only gets, I don't think I've purchased aloe vera in like 20 or 30 years. Good times. I just had to show off my exotic huge aloe vera plant. And that's real aloe vera. Like I put it on wounds and stuff. It's real. Also with my grapes, they thrive here. But it's not rare. Where I live, people grow grapes all the time. All right, let's check this arm out. Perfect. Oop. I see a mistake that is easily fixed. Oh, that's funny. I definitely missed that piece. Perfect. You guys have garbage timber trees, so it's a trade-off. Who didn't know what that was? A lot of people have asked me in my videos or just in general, like, what is that behind you? If you can get a hold of wow tree, you should plant one in your yard. They take about 80 years to fully mature, but they're worth a fortune. Acquiring one might require violating international law. I'll be here for a little bit longer, Alibaba. My sinuses are got me today. That fire really kicked me in the tail today. It's been a while since it's been like apocalyptic skies on both sides, and the fire was unreal today. Ugh. But I feel better. When I started the stream, I took a Sudafed sinus. That's how you know I'm not feeling well. All right, I'm gonna take this table down, put my thing on the dress form, and start sewing. Oh man, I'm doing that thing again. Oh. You know, for some reason, last Wednesday I thought it was Thursday, so most of the morning on Thursday I thought it was Friday. It's wood so dense it sinks in water. They use them as bearing bushings for water wheels. That's awesome. When I lived up north, I saw all the amazing logger tricks. Let me move my camera. That's a little bit. That's better. Beautiful. I made this shirt a while ago. I have no idea why I didn't finish it. This is definitely like sweater material. I'm making nothing but winter clothes right now. I think I am truly trying to invoke winter. But I constantly talk about my unfinished projects. This has been on the top of the unfinished pile. Because when it comes to sewing something like this, once you attach the arms, you're pretty much done. Like there's all kinds of things that you could or could not do to this, but once you attach the arms, it's over. So I have no idea why I stopped right before it was finished. Thank you. Thank you, Ty. I think it's because I'm such a creature of habit. I do things over and over all the time that I'm like, oh, it must be Friday. Have a great night, Rashawn. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Awesome. I'm glad to see that Ty and I mix up the days. Oh, I have to look. Rashawn, are you doing anything tomorrow special for the 4th? Or are you gonna wait until you're gonna as far as streaming? Oh, all right. Let me put that up there. Get my initial pin. You know, I always say the initial pin is important, but it really is. I still don't know why I didn't finish this. These arms are going to be sheer. This was an extremely thin oopsie, but it was still worth it. Perfect. Hey, have a great night. Have a great night, Rashawn. Yay, have a great night. It's technically the 4th now. I should start drinking. No special streams. Didn't think of anything relevant. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. I might have I don't know. You know what? I'm not even gonna open my mouth because I do all the cooking and everything, so I'm gonna be tired. I'm the one that has to make it happen. So, and I eat as I cook, so I'm always tired by the time I'm done. By the time dinner's finished, I'm finished. Perfect. All right. Pin. I'm gonna pin that arm to this. That's the beautiful thing about having a dress form is that you could really stick some pins in this thing, and it gives me way more room to do something like this. And I would have never been able to do this without a dress form. Perfect. Perfect. Mm. Awesome, awesome. If I finish my edits tomorrow and don't fall asleep after eating, I may pop on after, since most people will be occupied. Yeah, it's one of those things. And a little YouTuber insider, which you probably know. Every time I've ever, and this is to anyone, anytime I've ever done a live stream on a holiday, I get more views because more people are home. But I stream at night, so it's hit or miss. I stream at night, so most people fall asleep to me. Perfect. Perfect. Even something like this is sheer. I still am pinning it as much as I can and as perfect as I can. But this is a little bit easier to manipulate than the other material. Perfect. Oh man. Do you know when I film myself in front of my house, it's always in the morning. And well, when I say morning, I mean like 10 or 11, you know. But it's funny to see my neighbor's reaction when they see me just standing in front of my house doing this. I love it. Same, because a lot of the world is shut down. TV, absolutely. My Memorial Day last year was a hot mess. I gotta go look at that now. Now I have to go back and look at that. I've been in some tire fires. I've been in some hardcore tire fires, but they're all old now. They got years on them now. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. You know what? Today could have went out of control, and it was cordial. When you start talking about sensitive topics and things that are close to people's heart, that's a good way to start a fight. Especially when you start talking about gender, race, or politics. So you had a good stream today, Rashawn. That's me mostly. That's me most holidays, but tomorrow's redneck Christmas. I will be blowing shit. It was 7 hours, yo. Oh, okay. You know what's really funny? I watched that. That's when I was still lurking on your channel. I watched that. You know what's really funny? I have a rule. After about 3 hours, you have to have a snack or you're gonna fight. I've seen best friends fall out in live streams because they were hangry. I'm not kidding you. Like, you think it's funny, haha. Always have a snack. When you're doing a marathon like that, you have to have a snack. Oh, that's so funny. I watched that last year because I wasn't doing anything. Oh, that is so funny. I remember that. I'm telling you, I get chippy. If you come after me after like 4 hours, if you say anything to me and I haven't eaten something, I'm going to come at you. That's human nature. I think that's human nature. Orange slices for the kids. Do you want to know how much of a savant I am? I'm going to trip everybody out. I remember that stream. Hold on. They were talking about getting therapy, right? Was that right? They were talking about like you should get therapy or something, and then it went downhill from there. I remember that because I'm pro therapist. I did 7 hours, 2 on goat effing and everyone. Yikes! Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. You get a ton more views though during holidays. Oh, good times. Good times. I remember. No, because man, people say everything on the internet, and there's certain things where I'm like, it works if you work it. I almost fell out of my chair because I said an AANA saying, but like it made that stream. I watched that stream, and that was a legendary stream. You know, and that's the thing. Like some of these streams, like you don't know who's watching. Oh, good times. I forgot about that. Oh man, I keep on thinking my chair is way more flexible than it is. I'm just gonna end up falling on the floor with this thing. Okay. Perfect. Oh, great times, except for their lot. You know what? You just answered. I was gonna ask you, but I didn't want to be nosy. Have they ever streamed together since? If I'm hangry, we fighting. Thank you, Ty. You know I love my son. I love him so much because he knows. I'll say something. He's like, "Bro, did you skip breakfast?" And I'm like, "Maybe I did." I get hangry. Don't ask me any like common sense logical things when I'm hangry. So I'm gonna ask you 3 poignant questions. And they're all gonna start with "Are you?" It was entertaining though. Wow. Oh wow. Well, you know what? I've fallen out over petty stuff. I'm not even judging. That was just pure curiosity. Wow. Maybe we should get a therapist to help them both out. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to start fights. You wouldn't fight me on the stream because I don't fight back. I just say crazy stuff. I had to warn my sister last night. Thank you. Don't get in my way. Do not get in my way. If I'm hangry, like I am that commercial where they're like, "You're playing football like Betty White." That is me. I'll turn into Betty White on you real quick. The Liza Minnelli one was funny too. Oh. Just feed me. Oh, you gotta be careful. Here in the House of Sewing, we take everything wrong. Oh, this is sheer. Perfect. Perfect. There is nothing I care about enough to end a friendship. There's nothing I care about enough to end a friendship over. Why are you just setting me up like that? I just wants me to say, feed you this. But I'm mature now. You know where I'm from. If you have to call out your move, we all see it coming. Oh, let's see if I. Oh man, this stuff is so sheer. I can't see. Okay, good. I'm almost done with one arm. Beautiful. There's a feeding grade. I guarantee you there's a 9-foot poster of a kangaroo in Greg's house. I guarantee you there is just this giant kangaroo poster. And all of this is just a facade for us to get him a kangaroo. And since we're to the almost end part of this stream, I still do not think that a grown human could take on a kangaroo. Just say it. At least without missing parts. And why I'm eating too gonna be Golden Corral. Hey, I like Golden Corral. What's wrong with a Golden Corral? They kept that and Farmer Boy. They kept on showing commercial after commercial. I drove almost to Arizona to go to a Golden Corral just to see what all the beef was, and I liked it. But we really don't have buffets around here at all anymore. At least Greg won't be late. Oh, good times. That is. Beautiful. This is slowly coming along. Beautiful. Perfect. I went and sat in Rashawn's stream for an hour by myself because he was in the wrong stream. Uh-oh. I'm on time. Gotta go. I can't stand you, Greg. Oh. If it makes you feel any better, Greg, I'm habitually early myself. I mess up the bell curve. Oh, cool. I went all the way around. Let's try this. I still get paranoid. I said the wrong week. Hey, I do that. You know, those are normal things. Do you know every time I click off a StreamYard, I make sure I clicked off because there's been a few times where I've thought I've clicked off and I didn't. I have this really hardcore fear now of being live when I'm not. But the truth is, I did it one time. I did it a couple times for a minute or two, and I didn't say anything crazy. So life goes on. But I still have this ornate fear of going live when I'm not. When I think that I'm not. So I totally get it. I'll see you 5 minutes after the stream is scheduled to start. Actually, I should put the stop cam here because I want to try this shirt on. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. Make sure there's no huge mistakes. I guarantee you the arm's going to be a bit emo on this. Now I just have got to give it up. When I was a kid, I found my parents' tapes, and it made me fall in love with like Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, that whole generation. So when I hear any of those songs, I absolutely love those songs. Back when people actually had talent. That's me showing my age again. Back in my day, you actually had to know how to sing before auto-tune. Oh, Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
Who keeps on turning down my A word? Alexa. Thank you.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
That's better. That's better. I have hearing issues. We now know what the temperature at Ty's house is. Well, but everyone, I can hear music with Ty's coming. Oh my God. I might steal that one. All right. Perfect. I have no idea. Oh, is that a mistake? No, it's just sheer. Oh, that. I look like an extra in a 1970s TV show. I look like I'm in Blake 7 with this shirt. Oh, this is fun. This was a definite mistake that has sat in this room for almost over a year, but it's done now. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. Man, we were really productive tonight. We made pants and a shirt. Usually I sit here and waffle for 4 hours. On America's birthday, no, I'm kidding. I was about to get real speechy. Thank you. I'm in my emo era. They are longish. This material is extremely sheer. Let me show you. This is sheer. Can you see my elbow? Yeah, you can see my elbow. Oh, this shirt reminds me of something. You need to take the shoulders in. Thank you, Greg. You ain't ready for my playlist? This is a shirt that I saw just sitting there. So I was like, let's just add something to it. This thing definitely needs some love. I'm going to do a ton of things to this shirt, but I'm calling it a victory. Now I have Adina Howard. The second you said you ain't ready for my playlist, Adina Howard came to my mind. I don't know why. Oh, too bad she's become crazy in her old days. Oh. I've been through this with Rashawn. People are not ready for white people degeneracy. I'd wear that on a 12-hour flight. The arms are really sheer, so it's not as hot as it looks. Ty, one of the reasons I started making my own clothes is because I have a weird torso, and I'm all about comfortable clothes. Bless her heart. I'm all about comfortable clothes. It trips me out how much people suffer for fashion. It trips me out. I wasn't being a dick. I just wasn't saying the lines are over the. I'm semi-autistic. Well, I'm going for the artsy fartsy look, Greg, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I am weirdly. I do weird symmetrical things, like when I cut shirts, I cut them way over my shoulder. So I get it. I get it. No, I take the critiques. No worries. Go listen to the good old days. Are you gonna go to the Lilith Fair after that? No, I'm giving you a hard time. You know, today was actually productive. Pants were made. I now officially have carpet. Well, no, they're drape pants. I officially have drape pants. I really didn't think I was going to go this far because that fire made me sick. But I feel a little bit better. One of the reasons I don't work with like hardcore colors like that too is because of the the difference. If that was all one color, you wouldn't be able to notice the difference. I would be a 90s lesbian, no hesitant. Oh, everybody says that until they get there, you know. Everybody says what they would do if they were to switch teams. All right, well, we came, we saw, we went around Jupiter twice. Today was actually extremely productive. I really didn't think I was going to get anything done today, too. I had the pants in mind, so those were going to get done regardless. But today was extremely productive. Who knows? I might get really bored. You know, I might pop on tomorrow. I might pop on for an hour tomorrow. Who knows? Because I eat really early. My ex-wife is probably going to come pick up my son really early. So I will be around. If I'm not around tomorrow, I'll be back at it on Saturday. But I'll probably be around tomorrow. I'm probably going to do something early evening, though. I want to see who's around, not in the middle of the night. I mean, most women aren't. I'll catch them on the swing back 90s rich chicks. Oh, you got me. You're killing me, Greg. Oh, I'm trying not to. There it goes. I will be back at it on Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. I'll be back at it on Saturday for sure. I hope everybody has a great and safe 4th of July. I'll probably be back at it. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you on Saturday. And seriously though, Ty, serious. Heather Nova was a fox. Seriously though. I'm just going to go stick my head under the refrigerator right now. I miss the short hair, weird clothes girls. I do too. You would love Washington State and California. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you. Thank you. I'll probably be back at it tomorrow. But if I'm not, I'll see you on Saturday. Regardless, I thank everybody who joined me tonight. Ty, for sure. Thank you so much. Greg, you're awesome. Alibaba, as always, I thank you so much. Kilroy was here. Kilroy was literally here. I want to thank Kilroy. I want to thank anybody who I missed. Mona, anybody else who came through and said hello this evening. I absolutely appreciate it. To all my new subscribers, I absolutely and sincerely thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Be back at it. Well, you know what? I'm just going to say until next time. So, like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see